Starting live.
Good afternoon, Sierra Madre. I'm James Carlson, Senior Analyst at the City of Sierra Madre. We're here today to talk about the impending storm and potential for mud flows in our community. Our goal is to provide you with the latest information on storm risks, evacuation procedures, and the extensive preparations in place. A word on the current storm outlook. A very strong storm is approaching with significant rainfall expected. Due to the burn scar from the recent fire, the hillsides surrounding Sierra Madre remain extremely vulnerable. The burned mountain slopes create fast-moving, unfiltered runoff, which can lead to mudslides and debris flows. Despite extensive mitigation efforts, mud flows into streets remain a significant concern. Our team, along with the county flood engineers, has modeled potential mudflow paths and high-risk areas that have been identified. Certain neighborhoods and streets are at a greater risk due to their location near the hillsides. And while sandbags and K-rails have been placed, residents should expect mudflow activity in multiple areas. I want to explain the difference between debris basins and structural rail and timber structures. Each debris basin has been cleared as much as possible with the help from our friends at LA County. These are engineered to capture debris and mud, and they is being unloaded with the heavy trucks going through the city all over the place. Now, a rail and timber structure, such as the one found on Yucca Trail, is not a solid barrier. It's not a debris basin. It is designed to allow mud to flow through, but to capture the larger debris, such as rocks and pieces of trees. We've taken extensive preparation measures, including over 500 feet of K-rail has been installed. Thousands of sandbags have been distributed and also placed in high-risk areas. Hundreds of thousands of cubic yards of debris have been already removed from our debris basins. And even with these efforts, we're still anticipating some mud flow to go into the streets. I'll take a moment to provide a summary of a few of the key areas that we're keeping an eye on with this upcoming storm. And starting on the east here, you can see the phase 1, phase 2, not even phase 3 forecast for Stonehouse, which is a private property without any structure at all. We saw a considerable amount of mud and debris go down onto East Grandview in the February 13th storm event, and we expect that to happen again for this event. Moving into the lower canyon, I want to draw your attention to two large mud sheds. This one extending all the way up to the northeast and depositing on woodland. This is where the Yucca Trail structure is. The other one going to the northwest at the very top of woodland. Now this one didn't flow as much as we might have thought at the February 13th event, but we are still have BMPs in place for preparation of that. From the lower canyon, we go to the upper canyon, a very wide mud shed above Skyland Drive and some of the upper canyon northernmost streets. We've done a lot of preparation with K-rails and sandbags to do our best from keeping this from flowing across parcels and keeping it in the streets. We'll go ahead and move east a little bit, starting with Mount Wilson Trail mud shed. So this is the actual trail coming down by our historic museums. And we have a forecast that there may be a little bit of cross-parcel drainage at the corner of Sturdivant and North Mountain Trail. This is the One Carter property. There are not a lot of completed homes or residents up at this place, but you can see the phase 1, the phase 2 forecasts show extensive flooding, even down below East Carter. Another area is the very northern portion of Auburn, where you have some cross-parcel flows beginning with the green phase 1, the orange phase 2. This is a place that we are concerned about. And then finally, at the Sierra Meadows Drive, you can see that this is also a very large forecasted flow. Fortunately, on February 13th, this did not flow as bad as we expected, and I believe a lot of that is because of the mitigation efforts, including K-rails and sandbags that we were able to install before the event. And with that, I will go ahead and introduce Fire Chief Bartlett, and he will talk to you about some of the evacuation preparedness.
Great. Thank you, James. Very good information for our residents. I appreciate you delivering that for them. Good afternoon, everybody. Fire Chief Brent Bartlett. As James was talking about, we have a very large, potential for a very large storm. And with that, a phase 2 storm event has been forecasted, which will impact the city of Sierra Madre. As a result, we will be issuing both evacuation orders and warnings for high-risk areas. These orders will be in effect tomorrow, Wednesday, March 12th, from 7 a.m. and will remain in place until March 13th at 6 p.m. or longer, depending on post-storm conditions in the field. If a mud flow occurs, I want to make sure that everybody understands this. Public safety personnel cannot enter active mud and debris flows. So should this happen again, like we experienced last time, please be aware, public safety personnel are not going to enter those areas for the safety of personnel. That is why we are asking everybody pays attention to the orders and the warnings. If you stay behind, you may be trapped for an extended period of time, up to days. So you need to be prepared for that. If that is the case and we have to respond, there is no guarantee that we will. If you remain behind and disobey the orders, please be aware that you are putting yourself, your family, and anybody at potential risk. Again, we are asking all residents in high-risk areas to follow the evacuation orders. With that, I'd like to hopefully see everybody on the other side of this storm, but we also have Police Chief Barrientos with a little additional information for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Fire Chief Bartlett, for your update. Police Chief Gus Barrientos, good afternoon. I'm going to provide you a quick update on evacuation orders that residents and for our residents and some of the responsibilities. So storm conditions can escalate quickly. It's imperative, I can't emphasize this enough, for residents to comply with evacuation orders. Evacuation warnings means prepare now, pack essentials for a few days, gather some snacks, secure your home, and plan where you're going to go. It could be a day, it could be for more than one day. What does an evacuation order mean? It means you must leave immediately. Leave. The preservation of life far exceeds the preservation of property. Ignoring an evacuation order puts everyone at risk. If conditions worsen, first responders or emergency personnel may not be able to assist you. Choosing to stay behind means you may be on your own for a few days. Red flag street parking restrictions are in effect in the impacted zones. Please refer to Genesis for an update, and vehicles are subject to tow. The purpose behind or the objective is to have ingress, egress for emergency vehicles to address the issues or concerns related to the storm. We were very lucky in February. However, luck is not a strategy. Preparation and action saves lives. Please monitor official city updates, stay alert, and follow evacuation orders. We need your cooperation to keep Sierra Madre safe. Thank you.